Tonight I wanna see the bright lights over me. Show me something magical, something beautiful. Come and take me higher, set my world on fire tonight, tonight. Show me everything I want to know, to take me right around the world. I'm feeling tonight, got me feeling so right.
This week on Top Billing, we celebrate the incredible life and mourn the tragic loss of our dear friend, colleague, and an exceptional man, Simba Mere. Together with his closest friends, we look through the best of times, and his star guests pay tribute and remember what fun it was to work with him. Jonathan Boynton Lee reveals how special his brotherhood with Simba has been and shares the heartbreak of saying goodbye. Simba's father, Mr. Joseph Mere, tells us about seeing his precious son growing up and becoming everything a parent could ask for and more. His top-billing family chart his incredible journey into the hearts of a nation. And we thank the big man himself for the best of memories as he still lives on in our hearts.
Good evening and welcome to Top Billing. On a night we toast the magnificent life and career of our friend Simba Mere, who we still cannot believe is no longer physically with us. Simba the One was his handle on Twitter, and he's the only man we know who could carry that off. He's become the heart and soul of what's great about television. His millions of fans love him like a brother. And we begin tonight with the tribute from his biggest fans, the friends who've known him the best.
Simba meant a lot to me. Apart from being a colleague and a friend, he really was like a brother. We spoke about anything. We had some good times together. I'm smiling because I'm thinking of his dance moves and his boisterous laugh and his wide, broad smile. But yeah, he was a magnificent man that everyone he encountered felt special around.
Simba was a kind of person, every time when we met, wherever it was, there's only one name that comes up in my mind, and every time I tell him, there's Mufasa. Everything about him was big. There's no way that you could miss anything about him. And for me, that alone means a lot as a person, as in his personality as well. He didn't have to say a word to me. Then I could feel him. He was there. And that's what I like most about him. He didn't have to say anything. If you see him, you know, Mufasa is in the building.
My best interaction with Simba was when I had him on my show, and the nation got to see the Simba that I knew. He relayed a story of him growing up and how troubled he was and how he had a low self-esteem and how at some point he believed that he was ugly because he was told that he was ugly. And he relayed the story of how living his dream on Top Billing actually changed his perception of himself, how he now had a new lease on life, how people started looking at him differently.
Simba was one of those once-in-a-lifetime kind of people. He was just this force. It was such a pleasure to be around him because he was one of the most positive human beings I've ever met. And he was not selfish, not with his time, and not with what he could do for people. He had a wonderful quality, which was he had the ability to make people laugh at any time.
Interacting with Simba was always a pleasure. He was a lot of fun. He was very kind, sometimes quite naughty. You would always laugh around him. You would always talk work. You'd always talk life, future, the great things we were going to achieve. I would always first greet him by roaring. It was like stupid, I know, but I'd be like, "Rah, Simba." He laughed with me as much as it might have been maybe slightly annoying and normal because his name is Simba. But he took it in his stride, and he's one of the kindest people in this industry that I interacted with.
He was always that guy who was just so warm and so willing to be there for people. He took pride in comforting people. He took pride in being a shoulder for people to cry on. I was just a friend. I was merely just a friend. Simba had parents, he had siblings, he had cousins, he had aunts, he had uncles. How amazing it must feel to know that you were the aunt or the uncle or the father or the mother or the sister or the brother of such an amazing, extraordinary human being.
Simba had a way of looking into one's eyes. It's almost like he looks straight into your heart. You know, there's an aura and energy about him that just allows you to be open, and he was such a sincere person. It was such a true personality to anyone, whether he knew you or not. You just always felt like you felt his love.
He's very natural, he's very open, was a very giving guy, and you know, it just made it easy to, you know, to love and appreciate someone like that.
No, he was such a real person. He was very genuine. In this fickle industry that I'm in, you know, it's very rare to find a real person, and he really cared. He would go out of his way just to make you feel comfortable and just to, you know, give you that hug, that big hug.
Simba was such a great guy. It's very difficult to just love one thing about him, you know. He was a full package, and there was never a dull moment with this guy. Whenever you were around this guy, he was funny, he was humble, he was grounded. He had a great sense of humor. You know, it was always a spectacle when we were together. You know, we were professional in front of the camera, but we were boys behind it. You know, when the cameras were off, we got up to just the same amount of mischief as any group of friends would. So I'm gonna miss that.
Simba was a very bubbly person. He cared about other people. He was an absolute gentleman. He loved women, but his main goal in life was to give his family a better life. His parents, he told me, were missionaries, and even if he could sweep a girl off their feet, he would rather know that he left them with a good home. That was the kind of man he was. When he was around, I wouldn't have to carry my bag. He'd open the door, complete gentleman. Life is crazy, you know? We lose the good people. And Simba didn't care about fame. He couldn't believe that a production like Top Billing saw potential in him. He used to tell me in the beginning it was so tough because he never always had, you know, the clothes and the fit, but all he had was his personality, and that's exactly who he was, someone driven. I think this is a lesson to us as people. We prioritize so many things: money, success, careers, and I think maybe we should start prioritizing people who are important to us, you know. It's such a loss. Yeah.
While every one of us at Top Billing feels the loss of this big, beautiful man from our family, one of the most special relationships was Simba's brotherhood with his fellow Presenter Search winner, Jonathan.
Here's to a very special on-screen bromance I'm proud to be part of.
Me too, bro.
As you can see, the two boys from Josie have just landed. We're wearing very inappropriate clothes for the beach party we're supposed to be hosting now.
You, me, stand off outside now.
Are you sure you want to do this?
Let's go.
Go. Okay. After this, Simba's going to find a girlfriend and he's going to have a kid.
Check. There's a hippo out there.
Hey, not the chips. And when you're hitting the road with your mate, you know there's going to be a bit of healthy competition along the way. So
is that a challenge?
That's a challenge, my brother.
I think we get each other. We get the feeling.
Yeah, we get each other. We get the feeling. See, I even copy what he's saying. Last year was the best year of my life. And if I think back to all the memories, you know, of Simba's always the first face I see. He was there for everything. He was always sitting in the front row and cheering, and he's the first face I remember. Every single good memory I have. In fact, the last 2 years since I joined the Top Billing family, every single good memory is with Simba. Every single thing we were going to do this year was with Simba. You know, we were going to do it all together. We were about to host the Presenter Search together. We had so many plans, and the fact that that he's had this effect on me and the whole of South Africa is testament to the person that he was. Just so larger than life. And he was that type of person, you know. He wouldn't do anything to ever try and make you upset or put you out of his way, you know. And you know, the most difficult thing is our lives are still so intertwined. He's got stuff of mine, I've got stuff of his, and my last message, my last phone call, my last tweet, my last Instagram, my last Facebook post, my last picture was all of Simba and to do with Simba. And his last tweet was to me, you know. He tweeted, you know, Simba tweeted a ridiculous picture of me in the Speedo. And my last tweet was, you know, I'm gonna get you back, dude. And his last Instagram post was a picture of the two of us, and it just said brothers. It's like he knew he was going, you know.
It's the perfect way to end this.
Boys will be boys. We spent, you know, Simba's last weekend, I was with him, and we were away together. And it was just, looking back, it was almost like a farewell weekend. You know, he was surrounded by friends and love, and it was one of the best weekends we've ever had. And we danced and we sang, and, you know, just like we were like two kids together, like little brothers together, like everyone knows. And we were like, let's shoot you know, you can get these little templates where you make movie trailers, and we were like, there's this big thing being made of our bromance, let's play with it, you know. And we chose the romantic trailer, and we were filming each other in all these ridiculous poses and running towards each other in slow motion and hugging each other, and we just made the most special, almost like little farewell video, like a tribute. And I've got the voice notes because Simba wanted to do a voiceover for it, and this is one of the many brilliant accents that he used to do, and we cut this thing together, and it's just, he's been dying for everyone to see it, you know. And I think this is going to be the perfect little tribute video to him, and it's just funny how it worked out on his last weekend. We were together and we just shot this thing to just almost solidify that bond that we had.
Simba was a lost soul. He tried to reach out in search of a friend. Jonathan was looking for a way out the dark. One summer afternoon, fate stepped in, brought together by circumstance. It's the story of one incredible bromance. You make me happy. Beneath the summer skies, only on 3.
Still to come, half man, half amazing. With his superpower of happiness, Simba leaves the world a better place.
The White Wall. Where do you start? Inspired by the most beautiful places, Deluxe Colors of the World is a collection of paints that complement each other perfectly. So you continue decorating dreams into reality. Deluxe. Let's color.
Distractions make us human.
Always night out.
Staying focused makes us Alan Gray. Hey, Peter Villiers, please, could you give me some tips?
Sure.
Thanks, Abby.
Pleasure.
Enjoy light and crispy lays and stand a chance to win tickets to the 2015 Cricket World Cup final. Lays, brighten your day.
Save more this weekend at Pick n Pay with great offers till the 8th of February. Buy assorted jars of Doe Egbert's instant coffee for $79.90 each. Save R30. Assorted packs of Nescafe Cappuccino for $37.90 per pack. Save R12. And 2 500-gram packs of all-brand flakes for $48. Save $19.90. Smart shoppers. Switch your points to cashback on your card at the kiosk or on the Pick n Pay mobile app. Pick n Pay.
Let's go all the way tonight. Forever. You make me feel like I'm living a teenage dream. The way you turn me on.
New Renault Sandero from only $1,799 per month.
South Africa has lost an amazing, talented young man. Our deepest condolences and thoughts are with the family and friends of Simba Mere, from all at SABC 3.
Simba used to introduce himself as, "I'm half man, half amazing." That was his CV. 5 words. And here's why 5 words were all he needed.
If you wanted a Top Gun moment, he gave it. Asked to ham it up with a beautiful woman, break the ice with an A-list star, or trade in his award-winning style and cool to make fun of himself, he'd do it. Because it made great TV, and because he never doubted who he was for a second.
Hey, yo, what's up? My name is Simba, a.k.a. Half Man, Half Amazing, a.k.a. the darkest man on TV.
How do you hold your breath for that long under the water? Well, I am half man, half fish.
Well, I'm half man, half amazing.
I like that.
It's going to be a good day. Sun's out, guns out.
Hello, darlings. This is my new show. My name is Diamond. Tickets is R50, but more if you want to sit closer to me.
You know, I watch so many Chinese movies and I always want to learn to do Kung Fu. So you have to teach me something. Do the right thing.
I can do the right thing, but you must be a man.
I'll be a man.
You guys like to try?
I would love to. I love making noises.
Let's see how you do it.
There we go. Mine sounds nasty.
He's got it.
I like chocolate. And you got my chocolate, and you got the chocolate, and you got a chocolate, and you got a chocolate.
I don't know, maybe you should stick to the ukulele for now, and then we'll practice the singing a little later.
Loving you is like breathing air to me. It's what my body does so naturally. And if this life gets hard, you make it easy for me to love you. I just wanna turn you on. I just wanna turn you on, baby.
So right here on the show, we got Daniel Joao. When he lifted up the shirt, all the ladies say, well, he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. It's a 7 and an 8. Now we dance like this.
If he could make a contest out of anything, he would. On land, sea, and in the air. Asked to aquaplane across water when every logical impulse told him he would sink, he still accepted the challenge and refused to be sunk without a fight.
Last time I met you, you tackled me flat on my back, but it was a little unfair because there was 2 of you. So now we're going to change things up a little bit. Scudder, you're going to be my scrum half. Yeah. You're going to be on the 5 meter. I'm going to have the ball. You can try to tackle me.
Try taking you with that. I'll take you any day, Mowbray.
Listen, what do you... Okay, Scudder, he's a lot bigger than I remember, so
I'm a bit scared, I'm not gonna lie. Have you got any pointers for me?
Should be a bit scared, Simba, because he's a big boy. But you know what I'll do? I'll go for his right shoulder, because that's where he misses most of his tackles.
Right shoulder, you serious?
Yeah, no.
Sure. All right, Sia, it's a family show, so we can't be too violent, so just take it easy, boss.
I'm going all out, brother.
Simba was 26 years old, and he came here, and I saw him growing up. Because he was big, when you look at him, you see like a grown-up person. When he opens his mouth, he speaks like a grown-up person. But, you know, because I spent so much time with him, sometimes he would throw like, we would be like shooting. Then he's got his red headphones in his head, and he's busy like rapping and doing MCs, which was his thing. We will be like walking into the airport to check in, and he will be like dancing and doing funny things, and everybody would like look at us. So like those kind of things.
The jury is still out on whether these constitute real dance forms or if Simba had invented a new school of movement all his own. But even when there wasn't a tune on, he was always ready to get his groove on.
You guys have been absolutely awesome today. Thank you so much for your time.
Thanks, Simba.
I just want to find out, are any of you single?
When it came to the ladies, that's when Simba showed his age. He was like a little college student. They made him very shy and very nervous, and he would go crazy for the ladies. You know, that's the only time he used to show his age and to step in and be the big brother and calm him down, which was impossible because I was just as bad.
I am such a lucky man right now. Not only am I in one of the most picturesque places in Africa, but I've just happened to stumble upon a photo shoot with 3 gorgeous models. I love my job.
Coming from Puerto Rico.
Oh, I love the way she says that. Say it again.
Puerto Rico. Jy my beste vriend wees, ja. Dit sou vir my lekker was geweest hier so by die see. En ek genoot nou met jou koekelekoer, ja?
Sì, sicuramente è un connubio molto molto bello e importante perché la bellezza fa parte dello stile di Chateau d'Ax. Quindi per me è un onore poter essere testimonial di questa azienda.
I love it when she talks foreign. I think I'm in love. Don't go back to Italy.
Where a beautiful girl was involved, he'd learn the language fast.
Oh, I love you too.
Do I get down on one knee?
You could, and then move it to the right finger. You know you do this every time you see me, Simba.
This is what I think of when I think of Simba. I wanna be a mighty king, so my enemies beware. I'm working on my roar. Like, for me, that's all. He always wanted to be the best. He always wanted to be the one. He always wanted to be the best that Simba could be. And I think that was his secret. He always wanted to be better than he was the day before. You know? And one thing about him is that he was born a king. He was born the one. You know? He never had to roar. He just had to smile. He never had to be loud. He just had to walk into a room. And when he walked into a room, you knew he was there.
When the cameraman laughs so much, he's afraid to spoil the shot. Then you've got a TV show. Laughter was an occupational hazard for Simba's cameramen.
Do you know, like when someone passed on, there's a tendency, which is a good way, of people saying all the nice things about a person. But with Simba, he was really that guy. He was such a good-hearted person. We will be like walking into people's places and people will be scared of camera. And at first, people will be intimidated with his physique. But as soon as he opens his mouth, he cracks those jokes. People melt. You see smiles in people's faces and people start laughing and relate. And all of a sudden, they even forget that we're filming. Because if you look at all these inserts that he did for Top Billing, he would wear the same waistcoat or just change waistcoats and then he looks different. So I used to say to him, dude, okay, enough of the waistcoats now. So the other day he came to me and said to me, Mfuns, I've been looking at you. You've been wearing the same T-shirts all over again. And then he actually took me out to a shop and bought me this T-shirt that I'm wearing and these shorts and the floppies. And he said to me, this is from me, from the bottom of my heart. So that's what kind of a person he was from where he started to his last shoot, which he did with me. He was not only a presenter in our shoot, he was part of us. We used to joke, him and I. And I mean, this is one of his lines that he used to say, he's a machine. Everywhere we go overseas, we used to call each other machine. And him and I would actually like argue about who's the real machine. And I'm like, dude, I'm older than you, I'm the machine. And he would like, Funs, I'm younger than you, and I'm the better machine. So that's why I always say, my friend, you'll always be a machine in my head, always, always. The other day, I was at the prayer meeting at his house. I got so emotional listening to his dad talk, and everyone like consoling the family, consoling us as colleagues. And his dad actually touched on the fact that you give a birth to a son, but you don't know when is his last day on earth. God can give you the child, and even though you don't know when is this child gonna go, God knows the beginning and the end. So his father was actually thanking everybody about the fact that now, as young as he is, we all say he had a short journey in life, but I believe whatever God sent him to come do, he did exactly what God sent him to come do. I have no doubt that Simba will go to heaven. And then again, one day, we will see Simba and we'll hug him as friends.
After the break, Simba's father, Joseph Mere, looks back at a young boy with a generous spirit and a budding love for the camera.
Eba, did you know that if you insure 5 cars, you get free insurance on one of the cars? And I know some people are willing to go to extremes just to get free insurance.
But if you're not lucky enough to have a big family like mine, you can get at least 25% off every time you add another car.
The more you insure, the more you save. Salt, anyone?
It's SUV month at Ford, so hit the road in a Ford EcoSport featuring sync with Bluetooth. Go off-road, on-road, any road, or make your own road. Yours starting from just $189,900. Get out there in a smart Ford Cougar, now with all-new class-leading EcoBoost and turbo diesel engines. Yours starting from just $299,900. Packed with smart technology and ready for the open road. Visit your nearest Ford dealer and get that SUV ASAP.
With the ABSA Feature Store, you'll be amazed who you can have around 24/7. Open a check account and choose the features that suit your lifestyle. Be unique and prosper.
We asked Judas why he switched to OUTsurance Life.
Well, I already had cover, but I was not getting anything back. Now I'm getting 1.2 million in cover for $650 a month, and it gives me security for my family. If I don't claim in 15 years, I'm gonna get 180,000, and I'll take my family for a nice holiday in the United States.
To see what you could get back, SMS Life to 39179. OUTsurance. You always get something out.
Prince Death Rock. Chili chill. Popcorn. Rocket you. Funky Fresh Boys, FFB. Prince Death Rock. Chili chill. Popcorn. Rocket you. Funky Fresh Boys, FFB.
Love breakdancing? Kicking it old school tonight at 9:30 on 3.
To understand Simba's way with people, you need to know him as his parents have. To his mother, Angela Mere, he's been her child and best friend. And now Simba's father, Joseph, invites us to get to know his son, the family man.
Instead of sending flowers, well-wishers are encouraged to donate in Simba's name to the JAM organization, which feeds 1 million children every day. It's a request which typifies the giant heart of a man raised by Angie and Joseph Mere, who courageously gave us the time to talk about their son.
Our sincerest condolences to you and Mum Angie and your entire family about the loss of your dear son, whom we all loved very, very much. And so please find comfort in that your loss is also our loss.
Thank you.
Just take us back in time. So you're working as missionaries for JAM, which is Joint Aid Management.
Yes.
Just tell us a bit about the work of JAM.
JAM started as Jesus Alive Ministries, which incorporated 2 things. They were doing gospel outreaches in our continent north,
of South Africa, and also relief programs. But both teams were just one family.
Yo, dudes, this is a brilliant chance to enroll in a really cool new kids charity club.
You shared a wonderful story about Simba when he was 9 years old. Yes. And he did this video promoting Kids to Kids and trying to do a fundraising. Yes. So he was really born for television, I would say.
I believe so. And how the leadership of the organization decided to ask him and his friend to do that, they told us, can we have Simba? And James was his friend. To do that, we said, definitely. For us it was, kids participating in what their parents are already doing. So here there are two youngsters, they did it like a fun, but it also meant a lot for the two of them that they would be involved in a program called Kids to Kids. In other words, you were not too young to get involved in helping another child.
Just imagine those little coins can actually save an African kid's life.
So from an early age, he was taught how to share, and to make a difference in others' lives, which is exactly what he did throughout his journey, even as a young 26-year-old. What values do you believe that you've instilled in him to have produced such a fine young man?
Love your neighbor as you love yourself. Our neighbor who is anybody who is in need, but they are available to receive your help. So we say to our children, look at these other kids. They would love to have what you have, they don't have. But every bit that you give, it makes a difference. And they grew up knowing that, and it just became part of their lives.
I guess then, that's what makes sense as to why your family wanted to contribute towards GEM from, the outpouring support, because a lot of people wanted to know where they should send flowers, what they can do in paying tribute to Simba. So I suppose that really makes sense because of the work that GEM does.
Yes, because when we lived there, we became part of everything that was happening. We never divorced ourselves from everything that the organization was doing. So that organization is still in our hearts. It remained in Simba's heart. So helping others has been part of his life.
Your fondest memory of your son?
I remember when I came from the field one day, I was told that he asked the organization's leader, where is my dad? Because he missed being with me, he missed sharing what he had in his heart with me.
But when Simba won the top billing presenter search, what did that mean for your family?
It meant the world for us. Not only us, it meant a lot for the team members that we had worked with for years, who regarded Simba as their child. It was unbelievable.
I think what astounded me was to see just how nothing was too much for him. Simba was sent to Norway into the snow. This kid hadn't seen snow. He hadn't experienced any of that. He got onto skis. He was slipping and sliding around. And it was all just fun. And in many ways, I think that perhaps being raised in a community of such diversity with so many different cultures, Simba wasn't afraid of people who were different from him. Different language, different culture, different ways of thinking. He was evidently fascinated by that and respected and loved people for their differences.
Simba, as a young man, had great experiences traveling the world in the last 5 years as a top billing presenter. How would you like Simba to be remembered?
As a young man who loved to live life to the full, who loved to express himself. He was an extrovert who never kept anything in himself. He expressed himself. A young man who listened to his parents, who listened to people who led him. A young man who was focused.
We have all received overwhelming words of encouragement, of support, of condolences together with your family, and South Africa really truly loves Simba. Any special words to the people of this nation?
If I were to look in a dictionary for words to express my gratitude on behalf of my family, I don't find them. I am overwhelmed. What the South African people have done, showing love to Simba, is even too much for us to understand, because there are things that they are saying today that we didn't even know. The love that South Africa has shown to my son, I cannot pay it back.
To Mr. and Mrs. Mere, thank you for the beautiful gift you gave us in Simba. We will love him always, and he will live in our hearts as long as we live. I first met Simba during the Johannesburg version of the Presenter Search auditions, and he walked in, just this massive guy, and he delivered his link, and he was so charming and spoke beautifully and had a very friendly disposition. And then he was naughty and very flirty, and I thought, he definitely knows his way to my heart. And I liked him instantly.
Simba was one of those very welcome additions to the Top Billing family. For a while we were looking for someone that was just wholesome and lively and full of attitude, but of the greatest attitude. And he certainly did bring that to the team. To me personally, he was like a kid brother. Sometimes he'd call me Mama Ursh, and I'd get so upset. I'd be like, don't you call me your mama? And then he'd be like, but that's what you mean to me. You've taught me so much. I've learned so much from you. Would you rather I call you Auntie Ursh? I was like, no, stick to Mama Ursh then.
Simba was more than just a colleague. He became sort of a little brother to me. I watched him when he started the Presenter Search, winning the Presenter Search, to becoming, you know, the Simba that we all love, making us laugh every single Thursday. He was just a lovely human being with just a clean, pure spirit that resonated with a lot of people.
The first time you meet him, you can't help but fall in love with the guy, you know. He had such an incredibly infectious personality.
He really cared about his friends. He really cared about his colleagues. And I think that sort of genuine elements of his personality and that authenticity came through in everything that he did.
Right? You know, that one little thing that when I go to the club, the lady's going to go, yo, charmer. You know, that move. You want that thing, man? I want that thing.
Ah! Where did that go?
What I really loved about Simba was that he never took himself seriously. Like, he always looked on the bright side of life. Like, he'd find a joke about anything, really. I remember we did an insert, and it was myself, Bonang, and Simba. So it happened that we had to kind of do a tag team emceeing, and Simba came on and literally made a fool of himself, and people loved it and they laughed. He was like, I'm half man, half amazing.
I am tall, dark, handsome. My shoe size is a 12. I have been called many things. I have been called the darkest man on TV. I have been called half man, half amazing.
And people just cracked, and I just thought, wow, like somebody to just like not take himself so seriously was such an endearing quality, you know, and not a lot of people have that.
They bring me the beautiful one, huh? Yeah. This is like a big baby seat.
You know, the one quality that I absolutely adored about our Simba was his boyishness. And I always say there's one thing that you can't fake, and that's sincerity. And Simba's boyishness ensured that every experience he had with every single shoot he did, it was 100% sincere, that enjoyment, and it just jumped through the screen.
Yeah, baby! What always stood out from, you know, as presenters, one of our biggest challenges is to communicate whatever it is that we're feeling, whatever moment we're in, to the audience, so that they can live vicariously through us and enjoy that. And you need to immerse yourself into every moment so sincerely, and he did that so well. He lived every moment. You could see, taste, smell, hear everything. Everyone that watched his work on the show enjoyed him, and when you meet him in person, he's just so much bigger than that, and you see that it's all real. It's not an act for television. He's just this incredibly honest and sincere person.
I don't think I've ever seen him in a bad mood. I'd never ever see him with a frown on his face. He was just constantly smiling, poking fun at everyone. He was mischievous. He really was like a like a little boy in a man's body.
Onagashimasu. Futatsu biro onagashimasu.
Yeah, can I get 2 beers, please?
A lot of people described him as a gentle giant. That's exactly what he was. And he walked into a room and he just filled the room. He wasn't intimidating. You know, he was kind, he was soft, he was loving, he was funny.
Daniel, how many sugars do you like, dude?
Oh, 2 spoons. That's perfect.
3, 4. Dude, you have no fat. I'm just trying to fatten you up. That's
my goodness,
perfect.
Simba, that should be yours.
That's perfect for you.
I'll miss his hugs. I'll definitely miss his hugs. He wasn't one of those airy-fairy people that gave empty hugs and air kisses. When Simba greeted you, he really greeted you and he looked at you.
You know, you build friendships and you do life with people, and when they're kind of taken away from you in the way Simba passed on is really sad, and it just, I guess, things will never be the same again.
I think it's still too soon to even realize how much we've lost. And my heart goes out to his family, to his friends, because if we're feeling the way we do as colleagues, I can't imagine how they must feel. If he meant so much to us, I can only imagine how much he meant to them.
Next up, our presenters and our celebrity guests tell us who Simba was to them.
So why does One Life sell more life cover than any other direct life insurer? Perhaps it's because with us, everything can be done on your phone, whether it's a call or online. There's no paperwork required. While with some other insurers, you can't. Rather go direct and save up to 30%. SMS Life to 38927 now. One Life, changing lives.
Andy's growing up, so it may be time for a bit of a clear out. Sorry, Buzz. They're boxed up and ready to go. And whether they like it or not, Andy's toys are on their way to a new home.
I want to see it! It's my turn!
Toy Story 3, Saturday at 7:30 on 3.
Dis 'n seiljag agter die rotse. Lyk my dis moeilikheid. Kom, ons moet jy doen.
Janrik, probeer asseblief vir Geelbek in die hande kry. Sê hulle met die Blankenbergs gaan sê om hulp te stuur. Ek gaan kombers haal. Gou.
Kom. Andy! Kom.
Mulanders, Wednesday, 8:30 on 3.
A look across all social media this week would have you asking, was there any other story but Simba? From towns you may never have heard of, to New York, London, the Arctic Circle, the big man inspired people everywhere.
In the entertainment business, it's very hard for everybody to like you. And you either try to be popular or you don't even try. In his case, everybody just liked him. It's the rarest thing to be one of those people who, whenever you saw him at a party or an event or when he was hosting something on TV, you were happy to kind of be a part of whatever he was doing. And he just inspired people. I will miss a lot about Simba, to be fair. I will miss this infectious smile and laughter and his ability to make everything feel good rather than bad. It's a difficult thing. Some people never get right. He just got it right every time.
You know, the thing about Simba, he was very sort of showbiz. He was very different to a lot of people you meet in the industry. You felt that he was genuine, you know, when he asked you questions, when he was interested, even off camera. You know, a lot of people are different on camera to who they are off camera. And I've been in this business long enough to know the difference. And when the camera stopped rolling, he was as engaged with you. He was as nice. He was as friendly. It really did come from a very sincere place.
I met Simba when I started my journey on SABC 3, and he just started as well. He was a very, very genuine person, and no matter who you were, I only knew him through work. I didn't socialize with him, but whenever we were together, it just felt like someone that you've known for a lifetime because of the kind of open spirit and loving spirit that he was.
I'm just going to miss a young man making a success out of his life. Being in this space for quite a while, I've experienced a lot of young people who get a lot of blessings, but they then tend to forget about their blessings, and they tend to develop some sort of attitude or diva tendencies. And I've seen Simba grow from when he started out. He's been the same guy that I've seen off screen, on camera. He's the same guy that I've had to spend a day with, just a little over half a day with, at my house, at my home, and just met my family. And the fact that he carried out his life responsibly, focused, young person, humble, hardworking, down to earth, amazing individual.
I think it goes without saying, he was a kind-hearted person, very loving of the fans as well, and they loved him back. But for me, some of the moments that endeared me to him so much is that we would be able to sit down and share stories about our experiences of the industry and how we could learn from each other. And he was definitely somebody who was really, really genuine, extremely hardworking. He was deserving of every single bit of his success that he'd gotten till thus far. And he's got a way of creeping into your heart. And I think he has done so in many, many South Africans' hearts out there.
See, it's hard to speak about, because I remember, all the times that I'd seen him, from the racing last year with the Stig, through to now it's out in Cape Town, he was always the same guy, On camera, he was always that cheerful, happy guy that brought a smile to everyone's face, and he was that same guy, out in Cape Town when I'd seen him all those times out. On every occasion, you see people change, especially with fame. A lot of people, when they come to the camera, they're different people, and Simba wasn't like that at all. He was always that person. You could see that wherever he was. I remember listening on the radio yesterday afternoon, and some random person called in and said, when Simba came into this world, he made 6 billion friends. Every person that he met, he took the time to get to know. And I think for me and my family, that was the exact same. When he first came into our lives, he took the time out, and there was a genuine interest from his side. It wasn't just like a usual presenter. Hey, my name's Simba. Oh yes, you swim. Oh, that's cool. He actually genuinely loved what he did, and he loved the people that he had met. And just from our side, that's all I can really say. He was an unbelievable person. And if people in South Africa and around the world could take just a feather out of his cap, South Africa would be a better place.
It's not often that you come across someone whose passion, energy, and zest for life was as infectious as Simba's was. It was not long ago where we were standing right where I am now, chatting and reminiscing about life and cracking jokes. And it's with a heavy heart that we said goodbye to Simba on Saturday, and to his parents and his sister Valerie. Our deepest condolences from myself, Janine, and baby Timothy, who Simba interviewed for the first time on television. And this world has lost a precious gem, and Simba, thank you for the opportunity to have got to meet you. Thank you for the opportunity that you had to embrace life, but also bestow your passion for life on me. It was a privilege and honor to have met you, and even though this world has lost a precious son, we know you're looking up down from the heavens and smiling at us. So rest in peace, my friend.
Simba jokingly introduced himself as Milk Chocolate Man, and it just so happens that most women agree he was the sweetest, smoothest guy you could hope to meet.
Simba and I formed an incredibly special bond from the very first day that we met. We were the first two to arrive at the house, and we were both so nervous and apprehensive and not unsure what to expect. And we saw each other. I just remember him having this big grin, and he's like, "Hi, I'm Simba. I'm going to win." And I just remember going, "That's great. You've got competition."
He was very focused about what he needed to do and where he thought, he could improve all the time. He didn't sort of have an ego that, "Oh, this is mine, I'm just going to snatch it up," and whatnot. And that's not to say that he didn't believe in himself. He was always ready to improve. And I think that's something that you don't really get to see on camera. It seems like, the cogs are turning and the machine's well oiled. But when the red light goes off, he's taking notes, and he was focused and listening to advice.
Competing with him in the competition, my best memories would have to be his sense of humor. He had
the most amazing sense of humor. I mean, he was the type of guy, at any given moment, he would just break out into a song and you would hear Boys to Men. And one of my favorite things was he used to do this pec lift that he loved, and everybody that knows him knew that he liked to show off his body and his big muscles. So it was those type of things, it was the little things. And for me, one of the things that I cherish about him is the great big hugs that he used to give.
Some of the funny, things that the guy would get up to is, despite the cool, calm exterior and everything, he was a joker, and he didn't, have to take himself dead seriously all the time. I remember him in a suit, like a very expensive suit, doing the worm on the floor of a club.
I remember it was his 22nd birthday, and we were all leaving. It was the top 8, and we were all leaving for Mauritius, and it was going to be his first flight. And he was so excited, and I sat next to him, and I even cheersed him with champagne with the whole group. I just thought we should raise our glasses of champagne and wish Simba a very, very happy birthday on his very first flight to Mauritius.
Well, thank you.
Happy birthday.
Thanks, guys. Happy birthday, Simba. Thank you very much. Cheers, everybody.
And just before, when the camera stopped rolling, he looked over and he said, "I'm so nervous, but don't tell anyone." Like, "It's okay, Simba, I've got you." And I'm thinking, he's this huge guy. And I held onto his arm, and he sort of held onto me. And as we took off, he was like, "I could get used to this." And I just remember thinking, oh, this is his first flight. I feel so honored to be sharing this with him. I mean, what a moment. This is really, really exciting. And then thinking, when he won, that first flight is going to be a distant memory from the world that he'll be traveling. And in a weird way, I'm really glad that he got to travel the world in the past 4 years and see it, because who knew we'd be sitting here today talking about him like this. It just feels surreal. I keep waiting for someone to send me a message to go, "It was just a big misunderstanding. He's filming in Norway," or something like that. I keep waiting for him to come back and tell me about all his exciting travels and when he went there and who he met. And I can't believe I'm never going to get those SMSs or those phone calls again.
One of the things that I appreciate about what Simba has maybe left to a lot of people, and it sounds cliche, but to young people in particular, is that he didn't have one persona for the lights being on and one, being able to switch off when it was off. He was himself at all times. And he had brought to broadcasting, actually, I think in general, at least contributed an integrity, an honesty of personality.
Simba taught me a lot. Competing in that competition, he showed me that no matter what you do, where you go, and what you're trying to achieve, you don't need to trample over people. We were competing for a spot, and this man was so good to me. He was so nice to me. Even up until the end, he supported me and he pushed me, and he was like, "Kalesha, you can do this. Go get him. Go get him, Tiger." And that was Simba.
He's just one of those people who is larger than life. He walks into a room and people want to know who that is. He has the most amazing smile and that laugh that I can hear right now. And it just absolutely breaks my heart that he's gone.
To all of you who posted and tweeted, thank you, and we will pass all your thoughts on to Mr. and Mrs. Mere.
Coming up, behind the scenes on how Simba made magic from the tip of the Eiffel Tower to the heart of ancient Japan.
Something's not right here.
Next on Supernatural.
Take the newer surgeon on call. Tell our to put Alexis on hold. Smooth trauma, gunshot wound to the right frontal area. No exit wound found. Breathing spontaneously. Respiratory rate 18 and shallow. RST at 120. BP 90/60. GCS 5.
Most of the time, cases like this, they die. He's not gonna die. It's one bullet. He's gonna be fine because he's always fine.
Supernatural, Sunday at 10 on 3. Next on Nikita.
Need your help. Google is not the priority anymore. Black boxes.
What do you mean you can't find Alex?
She's been off campus for 84 hours. There's nowhere to contact or trace her.
Alex could die in this attempt.
I have faith in Alex. She's very resourceful.
Nikita, Tuesday at 8:30. Find her on 3.
When top billing crews get up at 4 in the morning to be on set at 5, they do it knowing that a presenter like Simba will make it all worthwhile. Nothing gives me a bigger kick than to know that Simba is one of ours now.
Simba lived by the philosophy, being a gentleman never gets old. And he was always a gentleman, and that was one of the things that was most charming about him. The first time I met him was at the Presenter Search finals in Mauritius, and he was sitting at the dinner table. He got up, he came over, he greeted me with his charismatic charm. And at that moment I knew this is the kind of person who could win the Presenter Search, because in top billing you have to greet people, you have to mingle with people, you're invited into their homes, and you have to have that wonderful, charming, friendly personality so that people want to share their space with you. And he has always had that.
Brave face.
I'm not even breaking a sweat.
The first time I met him was when I was directing him for his very first insert on Top Billing, which we shot in Simonstown with the Navy divers. And I was really impressed because it was the first interaction that I had with Simba. And it was a tough gig for a first-time presenter. And he did incredibly well. And from then on, I thought, well, we actually have a star in the making here.
So, guys, do you make the grade? I'm happy.
When it came to working with Simba, it was really always a pleasure, especially with our inserts, because, you know, as a viewer, the energy that you see conveyed on screen is exactly the energy that he gave you when you asked for direction, you asked for a shot, even when you asked for sound. Simba was there to just bring that energy. And I think testament to that was our trip last year to Europe. I was with our cameraman Etienne, and we got to go to the top of the Eiffel Tower. And he took it all in, you know, and it was new and it was exciting. And, you know, I took a moment there to realize that that's what this presenter is bringing out. For every viewer, it's new and exciting. It's new and exciting for him. And that's what made him incredibly special. We were there on top of the Eiffel Tower, and I took a moment, he looked over the whole of Paris, and he said, "I'm on top of the world, baby."
It's my second time in Paris, but my first time up the Eiffel Tower, and it's so great to come here on such a special occasion. It's the 125th anniversary of the Eiffel Tower, so it's great to come here and celebrate Paris.
I think one of the things we remember most about Simba is just his warmth and his charisma and his character. You know, he always had the biggest smile and the warmest hugs, and I think that is something that will stay with us forever. You know, every time he came into the office, if we were on location, if we went to a shoot, he always had time for each and every one of us. So it was always a warm smile, a nice hug, greeted everybody by name. It's that feeling that he made everyone else around him feel warm. And that is something that very few people have the ability to translate on screen and off screen at the same time. And he really had that gift.
Oh yes, and ladies, eat your heart out.
Simba always was part of the team. He never saw himself like the superstar. I mean, when traveling with the crew, he would carry the gear, he would assist, he would actually shout at the crew to say, "I need to carry something, I need to help you." And when he came in front of the camera, he had this light about him that he just exuded. And we as Solo Billy Productions, you know, he was just not an employee for the company, but he was our son.
It's my happy face because of these beautiful ladies.
Simba was such a lovely person to work with. I think he really captured a lot of people in the office heart, and he was just always so kind and warm-hearted and just so friendly to each and every one of us. It's just so terrible. I think each and everyone in the office this week said it feels so unreal, because it does feel unreal, and it feels like Simba's just a phone call away. We can just phone him up and say, "Hi Simba, how are you? How was your shoot yesterday? Are you available next week?" And it hurts my heart a lot to know that we can't do that.
I think I just did the Macarena.
The impact that Simba had on many, many lives has been completely astounding to all of us. I mean, the outpouring of love, of condolences, of support throughout the country has truly, truly blessed Simba's family and indeed the Top Billing family. You know, everyone who knew him wanted to say something, pay tribute to him. And indeed, I thank each and every one of those individuals who made the time to pay tribute to this special, special young man.
You should follow me.
Oh, you're funny? Okay.
Really handsome guy. His name is Simba.
Okay, okay.
You should follow him.
Okay, it's at
Simba, the one.
the one. I mean,
Hey.
hey.
The last inserts I shot with Simba were the ones that we did in Japan, which was the last trip we did together. And it really was a wonderful experience. Obviously in Japan we were struggling a little bit with a language barrier, and very often Simba had to carry the inserts, and he did so beautifully. I think my favourite is one that we did on the beauty of the tea ceremony, and then in juxtaposition to that we also added in the whole ninja experience. And it was a case where really Simba had to step up to the plate and show off not only his ninja skills but also his comic timing.
I'm on my ninja mission, got full gear, I've got my fake sword here because it's blunt, so no ninjas will be hurt in this one, but I need to find my nemesis. Let's go. No!
I always remember the photo shoot, the little bit of fun we had with myself, Simba, and Fundo, the cameraman, all posing in our kimonos in Japan. Obviously that trip being the last one that Simba and I shared together will be a memory that I'll remember forever.
On the Friday before the passing of Simba, he had gone to Sandton City with his mom and his dad to pick his suit that he was going to wear at the JNB Met, and he was very excited to go to the Met. To hear that he had passed on Saturday came as a very devastating shock to all of us, and it's been a very, very difficult time, I think, for everyone trying to come to terms with the loss of such a beautiful soul. Death could not have stolen a finer human being.
Thanks for your company tonight. Until next Thursday, good night and God bless.
We don't know how to say goodbye. We don't want to. And I'm sure you feel the same. Simba, since this is your show, my wonderful friend, you should have the last word. And here it is in a message you tweeted a month ago. To the past, thank you for all the lessons. To the future, I'm ready. From all of us at the Top Billing family, good night and God bless.
Simba's funeral service will take place on Saturday the 7th at 9 a.m. at the Rhema Bible Church. And he'll be laid to rest in the Heroes Acre at Johannesburg's West Park Cemetery. Rest in peace, dearest Simba. May God bless your soul.